ant. Give him some breathing room.
Give me breathing room.
He was there first.
Yes.
The first shall be last. And the last.
First shall be last. And we will be blamed, right? For those of you who've been in church the last several weeks, this must be like the phrase that Yogi Berra never said, it's deja vu all over again. Are you hearing something similar? A couple of weeks ago, a story, a parable. Jesus talks about what's the kingdom of heaven like? It's like a farmer who goes out and sows different kind of seed, and some seed is good, and some flowers, and some gets choked, and all that. And then last week, what did you hear? God's kingdom, the reign of God, is kind of like the farmer who goes out and sows good seed, and someone else goes in bad seed. And how do I start this morning? Story. The kingdom of heaven is like this tiny little mustard seed that gets sown. Do you hear a similarity? There's a reason for that. This is 2 minutes of Bible study just to give context, okay? There's a reason why you've heard this week after week after week. And the reason for that is Matthew's gospel is slightly different from the others. Matthew is not only a writer, and he's not only somebody who gives us the teachings of Jesus, Matthew is also an editor. And he does something very specific. Whereas in all the other gospels, these different stories, cute parables, are scattered throughout the text. Matthew takes them all together, puts them all back to back to back to back to back, and creates a chapter. Which, in the age of the dinosaur, when I was studying in seminary, that was referred to as the parables of the kingdom. Matthew has taken it all together because it's a teaching tool. And there is a theory that the Gospel of Matthew may have been the church's very first catechism because it's so easy to teach from. Okay, but that's a sermon for another day. I just wanted to give a little context, why you've been hearing the same thing. For those of you, if your eyes glazed over when I started talking about planting seeds again, yes, you have heard this for 3 straight weeks. But there's a reason. We pick it up Sunday after Sunday. So many nice little stories trying to capture, well, what's it like to really live the gospel? To be the people Jesus wants us to be the kingdom of God on earth. And he uses all these very interesting images. He talks about a little tiny mustard seed, something tiny that becomes something big. Or yeast that can take flour and make something beautiful, like chocolate donuts. Are there any chocolate donuts in the downstairs waiting? No. All right. It was a prayer. No, I don't see. There's no chocolate in my house anymore. Now that we have a dog and chocolate is poison to dogs, I sacrifice. There's no chocolate in the house. So, and of course, being a man, I'm not whining about it, am I? All right. The kingdom of God is like a treasure. It's something terribly important. It's a pearl that can't be measured in terms of money. It's like catching all the people of the earth together. And ultimately, there will be a day of accounting because what's good will be saved and what's garbage will be tossed, and you don't want to be part of the garbage. He takes all of those stories and he hammers us with it as a teacher, making the point, I'm giving you something valuable. Listen. So let me kind of put this in a context. I'll show my age, okay? I remember the TV commercials with Ed McMahon showing up with the publisher's clearing check. I know he doesn't do that anymore because he's dead. Yes, thank you. All right. But somebody shows up with the check, okay? Is there anyone in this room other than me who secretly really would love to see whoever it is show up with that $15 million check? Am I the only person in this room who would love to see it? Come on, let me see a show of honest hands. All right, one honest person. There's some. Very good. Thank you. Okay? I mean, how many of us have from scratch-off tickets to Powerball? Buy that one ticket just in case, because it's valuable. All right? Why do people play sweepstakes and lottos? Because they hope that one chance of something really valuable. Well, let me tell you a true story, and I'm going to ask Bill and Joe to bear with me because they were at St. Paul's last night, so they've heard this before, and it is a true story. How many of you know the story of Mel Fisher? And no, this is not a guy who pitched for the Mets in '65. That was Jack Fisher. You ever heard of this gentleman? This is a true story. This is a person who followed his dream because he wanted to find that one valuable catch. Mel Fisher in '63 sold his business, liquidated all of his assets, sold his home, and you can find this online. Google him when you go home, if you wish, on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm sorry for you if you do. And he purchased a boat. He lived in Florida because he was convinced he was going to find the mother of all Spanish sunken galleons. And he put his heart and soul into it. He put his family into it. And you know, how long do you follow your dream? Or when does that dream become obsession? Ask Captain Ahab, okay? This is almost somewhat similar. He followed that dream not 1 year, not 5 years, not 10 years, not 15, but 16 years. And then, I checked with Ava this morning, she's giving me the proper pronunciation. He finds the wreckage of a ship called the Atocha. And he did hit the mother lode. Gold, silver, ingots, coins. He is richer than Solomon. He has it all. He followed his dream because he gave himself to the one thing that was valuable in his life. And the minute he brought it on shore, his life went down the toilet. Because then the state of Florida went after him for taxes. The nation of Spain went after him to collect what was originally theirs since the British sank it. The families, or the descendants of the families for whom the treasure was originally intended, went after him. He ends up losing most of it in litigation costs. Goes back out to get more. His ship capsizes. He dies. It's a sad story. It's a true story. There is a museum in Key West, Florida, and again, you can find that. Some of what he found is in that museum. And the reason I bring it up is not to make fun of anyone. That's not my point. But Jesus is saying, you know what? The kingdom of God, the ability to live in a right relationship with God so that you're in a right relationship with each other, it's a treasure of incredible value. It is so important. And he gives these cute little stories that aren't really cute. They're really hard-hitting. He says, it's so important. It's like finding something valuable that you yourself are the only person who knows it's there. And you go by and you get that land because you know you can get it. Or it's like possessing the one thing of value that there isn't enough money in the world to buy. And this is more valuable than that. But what Jesus also says is, look, you don't have to go searching for it. It's not hidden anywhere. It's here with me, and I offer it to you. All you have to do is accept it. The greatest things, truly, and that's what Solomon was wise enough, the young Solomon anyway, to pray for, to have discernment, to understand what's valuable and what's not. Or in our opening collect, don't waste our time and our energy and our passion on things that are temporal to such an extent that we forget what the things eternal really should mean. So on a Sunday morning, I ask you to think. God's kingdom, the reign of God, the right relationship with God, God's grace, is a gift given. It's yours. The Lord gave it to us on the cross and in his resurrection. It's yours to have. It's really the treasure. It's the pearl of great price. What are you willing to do or redo or reorder or reevaluate in your life to accept the gift that's there? How important is it really for you to be in that relationship with God? Amen.